Hi there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. I know it's been a little bit since I last did a video on this, and honestly there was a bit of a period where I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue this Let's Play, but what happened was I played World of Final Fantasy, the demo, and then after that I'm like, yo, I really like Final Fantasy. So I decided, you know what, let's continue, let's keep playing, and this part we're going to start it off just as we should, and that is getting the most overpowered broken stuff in the game, which, those of you who know Final Fantasy VII, you know I'm gonna get some enemy magic. So, what is enemy magic? Well, we went over that before with the mantra magic, but in case you need a reminder, essentially, it's certain spells that enemies use that only they can use normally. However, if you have equipped to you the enemy skill materia, you unlock it as something you can get yourself. Some of these are the most powerful skills in the game, because somehow, and for some reason, they're not balanced for you. They're balanced for enemies. And if you know that, you have more HP and stuff than they do, because you have to fight multiple of them, so, they're strong. The one we got from fighting this Manticore dude, which is just in this area, is Aqua Lung, which is a water spell that is brutally powerful. But this one here is, in my opinion, the best one you're gonna get for a long time. You need to go to the beach nearby and find these beach plugs, which are just unsuspecting little, sea barnacle things. They're not even anything remotely interesting looking. But what you want to do is you want to use the manipulate materia, because, well, we were able to get the enemy spell from the last dude with just by waiting for him to attack us. And there are definitely a lot like that, so you should always have an enemy skill materia on at least somebody, you know? You need to use the manipulate to get this guy to use it, because it's a defensive spell, and they'll never use defensive spells on you unless you use manipulate. So what you want to do is you want him to use Big Guard. And thankfully, both my dudes who have it, are on the same side, meaning they'll both get it. So Big Guard, if you don't know, is amazing. Big Guard gives you barrier, magic barrier, and haste to every ally. Which means you put that thing on, not only are you getting your turns faster, but you're taking much less damage from both physical and magical spells. It is, I'm not going to say necessary for bosses, but it is so good. So, the next one that I was recommended through the guide, I know you guys told me to go back to fight the Midgar Zolom to get the, to get a fire spell from him, but I don't get that, because, that was recorded, a year ago at this point, probably. But I do go back for one spell, because I'm using a guide, and the guide recommended these three: Aqua Lung, Big Guard, and a spell called White Wind. So the good news is you can actually just take the ferry right back, because my most biggest pet peeve in games is where you take something like a boat or a plane, or you change locations, right? And there's no way to get back? That sucks. Thankfully, taking the boat brings you back, and not only that, I thought this was really brilliant. You think, I have to go through all of this again? But no, see this dude right here who's like, hey, come over here, I'm a sailor. You know, you talk to him, and he's like, hey, we can get you a free taxi to the entrance. And, that's really nice. In fact, that's surprisingly nice. So you use it. And the good thing is, if you came over in the little Bronco like I did, I just walked into the town originally by doing it. If you do it like that, then when you come out here, you're also in the not the little Bronco, this thing. I forget what this is called. The buggy. Little Bronco is something different later. So you go around this area here, and you need to find this big old Pokemon looking dude. Looks like a grass flying type or something. Very weird design, but that's not the weirdest design even of this part. This guy will give us White Wind, which is a really good spell. Thankfully, he was very easy to manipulate. You just need the one. It's a Zelmlet. Whatever. You want to use White Wind, and again, this is a spell that he'll never use on you because of the fact that it is a, a defensive type one. Now, something of interest, though, is the fact that there's some spells that enemies have that they will just never use, period, unless manipulated. So, that's really interesting. Manipulate in and of itself is a really good materia. Like, because you can, like, of course I'm using these on me, but you can have them manipulate to fight the enemies as well. So, like, by doing that, you can get some pretty crazy things to happen. The only problem is it does have a lower chance of happening than a lot of stuff. I think it's like 20% normally, but you can get an item later that will bump that up to 50%. So yeah, grab that. It's really good. But let's take a look at some of the stuff we got here with our enemy skills. So after this point, I was kind of in a big thing where I'm like, I just want to use all my stuff and see what it's like. So let's see how Aqua Lung works. What a weird name for an attack, though, Aqua Lung, you know? But it's just big old bubbles of water. And at this point, that damage is ridiculous. And as we continue on, it still continues to be really good. In fact, it just rips through some bosses, which is really nice. So, yeah, if you're ever having trouble in Final Fantasy VII, which I've been told from people, you shouldn't, and by me playing, I recently faced what the guy called the hardest boss you've encountered thus far, and really racked it up to being this real immense challenge. I'm not going to say who, but some of you will probably have an idea. And it was like, nah, it was fine. No one even came close to dying. It was, and literally it's because I do have this amazing just enemy magic, or enemy skill in this game, it's called. If they were to re-release Final Fantasy VII, I think they would call it the proper name of Blue Magic, because that's what it is. Blue Magic is the name that's in pretty much every other Final Fantasy game. Well, I think Blue Magic is in 3, 5, it's definitely in 5, in 5 it's a big deal. 6 technically has it in 7 here, so it's relatively new compared to some other stuff. But we have a little encounter here. And it's the quirky mini-boss squad themselves, the Turks. And it's really funny how, like, this is the scene that really makes it seem like they are the quirky mini-boss squad. They're not, like, they're serious, but at the same time, they're not super serious, you know? And you get a little taste into their whole lineup here with who likes who, and Sang likes that ancient. Are you serious? I think I mispronounced his name, though. I think it's spelt like something else. Or no, it's pronounced like something else. But it's really interesting because, like, this whole thing, like, at this point, you don't know much about them, but, like, you really become, like, frenemies with them, and I do like that. Now, of course, the Turks did have a spin-off game, but I think it was on mobile only. Now, mobile at the time was not iPhone mobile. It was Japanese flip phone mobile. And there's so many Japanese flip phone mobile games that, like, it's such a forgotten thing of our life, of you know, gaming culture, because we never really got that. As far as I'm aware, like, who played even those, like, flip phone games? I mean, I don't know a single person who did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was different in America, because in Canada, you couldn't get any of them unless it was like, hey, text Jelly Belly to 555455 and we'll install on your phone the Gummy Bear song. And it's like, no, don't do that, please. Have we summoned Rama yet? I don't think so. Rama's like, he's of all the Final Fantasy summons, you know, like, he's a big deal. But he's also the one that's most story important, if I recall. You know? He's also, like, the first one that you see in Final Fantasy 15. Oh my god. The Rama summon in Final Fantasy 15 is one of the best things. That was breathtaking, and, like, I don't often get truly aghast playing games nowadays. Like, it's been, I've grown cynical, I've grown old, but seeing that summon animation was the greatest thing. Also, fun thing about haste is it makes your character's idle animations go double speed, which is you know, normally just okay. But then you see like Kashith there just freaking the frick out, you know. And of course, this is retained for later Final Fantasies, including Final Fantasy X with Lulu, where oh my god, those things go nuts. Have I ever told you how much I love Lulu? Like, damn guys, Lulu is the best. So, I don't think these guys have items to get from the... Oh wait, no, you do want to kill Reno first. Because if I recall, you only get the reward for this if you kill Reno. I think it ends when one of them is dead. So focus on one, you know, but I think they said you need to beat Reno to get it. I could be wrong about that. It's been a hot minute since I last played this section, you know, so I'm still working my way through the game as I'm playing it, but I'm definitely a lot farther still now. For reference, this is video number 11 of like my raw footage. And yet I just finished recording video 18, and some of those videos are like an hour to 2 hours long, you know, so just to put that into a bit of perspective. So, yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Kashith, honestly. I feel like it's a very strange character, because, I mean, I guess because you can make every character be whatever you kind of want it to be by just speccing them with materia, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like he probably is better at, you know, magic and stuff, but I don't know. But we got the Fairy Tail. It's everyone's favorite anime by the guy who made Rave Master, which was a lot better than Fairy Tail, but no one remembers. What? What do you mean I'm venting? Also, I love that Kashith's like, a spy? Aw, geez, I sure hope me, the new guy, doesn't get blamed. It's great. It's a good line. It's good to remember. I do wonder about, when making these videos, how much spoilers I should give away. Like, because, I don't know, I feel like Final Fantasy VII is one of those things that, like, everyone knows the plot twists to. Like, maybe not the nitty-gritty stuff, but at least, like, the major stuff. But then again, I gotta remember, there's kids who only know Cloud from Smash Bros. I'm sorry, I just have to keep bringing that up because I still don't believe it, you know. So I do have to wonder about that, you know. I'm trying to be pretty coy, but I know that not everyone has played, you know. Not everyone's watched The Godfather, you know. But they still know references to it, so it's a similar thing. So here's a little... Whoa, a voice crack. A little bit of a hidden cutscene. So we gotta hide. And I on the one hand, like, finding little cutscenes like this is really cool. But on the other, it's like, I wonder if you could miss this entirely. And missable stuff in RPGs is the scariest thing to me. Because it's like, man... What if you miss it forever, you know? So we're looking for a big, large, huge materia. Notice the capital H. That is important. So, but who's this Scarlet? I think we saw her at the meeting up on the thing. Oh, and she was also with Barrett in his cutscene there. So, as soon as I learned Barrett is a mutation of his Japanese name Bullet, I can't unhear Barrett as what before it used to just be the name like Barrett or Barrett, whatever, but now it's like I can only hear like a mispronounced Bullet, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, Barrett is actually it's a cool name, and I am happy they changed that, you know. They changed that over to be what it should be. And then you might say, well, how come that didn't change, but Aerith's changed to Aerith? And to answer that, it's because Aeris is a dumb-sounding name, while Aerith sounds a lot better, and it sounds like Earth. Oh, and also, we can get the Titan material here. So, thankfully, we didn't have to use attack on the Titan Okay. First off, though, we're gonna have an encounter with my favorite enemy in this game, design-wise. Everyone, take a look at Heavy Tank. He is a Triceratops with beefy man arms and tank treads. Not to mention large things in the back that cause him to do that. Like, what are those called? Engine turbines. Okay, so here's Kashith's thing. We could potentially get a game over. Depending on the numbers you get. I think this is the one where you can get a game over. Actually, you know what? Wait, I don't remember. There's one of them that you can just straight up get a game over from if you get the wrong ones, which you don't want to get, obviously. But Titan, of course, another classic Final Fantasy summon. He actually does the really cool thing of just flipping the enemy over, and it looks great. And certain enemies look funny when you do it on them, so that's good. But yeah, Heavy Tank. It's a Triceratops man thing. Apparently gives out really good money, so if you want, you can grind here for some stuff. I think you can also morph it into a power source, which lets you raise your stat. So literally, you can grind them for unlimited stat ups, which is a good idea if you are stuck. But we also have this giant, terrifying bug. I don't like bugs. And this thing is not easier, on the eyes, especially because it has 3 different faces, which is weird. I don't know what's up with this bug, but it ain't no normal bug. There's definitely some stuff going on with the character designs for enemies in this, which I think were also done by Nomura, if I'm correct. The guy who, designed a lot of stuff and went on to, write the story and direct Kingdom Hearts and stuff, so he's a fun guy for sure. But we may have missed a special place to go to, so we're gonna head back in. Because if you go through it, you get out, which sort of makes sense, but if you turn here, you of course get to fight an enemy, being another giant, terrifying, 3-headed buggo, which isn't fun. I did pick up the D-Blow materia. Haha! Give that to Tifa, am I right, fellas? Ho-ho! But no, it's Death Blow, which, hey, give that to Tifa, am I right, fellas? Hey, whoa! I don't know what Death Blow does. I think it gives you a weaker attack with a chance for insta-KO, but and I guess this is a problem with Final Fantasy in general, where sometimes you just get something that is apparently it's like a super cryptic spell or something that you don't know what it does or how it works, and you just kind of get it and you're like, I don't know what to do, so thankfully, you don't have to use it, but I do pull out a guide. And it actually has the materia all listed, so I check it out, give it a read, but I remember reading the Death Blow one, and it's like, oh yeah, you get the Death Blow skill, and then I couldn't find anything on the Death Blow skill. Maybe, who knows, I'll look it up right now on my phone while I'm buying some stuff and see what happens, because that gives me time. Let's go I'm gonna use Siri. Final Fantasy VII Death Blow skill. See what happens. Let's see if it can tell me. Death Blow. What does it do? It either crits or misses. Lowers your overall accuracy by 2/3 and attempts a critical hit. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually good to know. I was wrong, but now I know. So yeah, this is GAGA, which is a terrible, terrible name for a place. But you can do some stuff in here, grab some items, do a little bit of everything. It's a town. However, this town is also very important for the secret backstory of Final Fantasy VII, which will never be told, except for possibly in Crisis Core. You know what sucks? I really want to play Crisis Core, but I can't. Because it has a song that's copyrighted in it, they can't put it up on sale digitally. So I can't actually play it on my Vita, because they don't have a digital version of it. And it's like, and I want to play it, but I can't. Now mind you, I do know that emulating PSP games is surprisingly and scarily easy. Like, easier than many other systems. Like the DS, so much easier. So I will look into that. I've heard Crisis Core is kind of hard to run, but it's like it's my only option. And because they said they don't want to do a Crisis Core HD, which is dumb, I guess that's where I can't play it. You know, and it's kind of a big, important game for those of you who know what Crisis Core is. But I think if you have Tifa in your party, I think Tifa or Aerith head into this house, then you get this special cutscene. So the only thing about this random son, his name is Zack. And at this point, Cloud's head should have exploded. But he hasn't. So, no wait, doesn't Tifa remember though? And Tifa's gonna be like, hey, Cloud, you know, buddy. So, this is, the story of Final Fantasy VII is certainly something. Like the backstory aspect that I'm still not entirely sure on. Like, I mean, I haven't got to the point in the game where the Revelatons have come into play. But, at this point, it's like, I think I get what happened. But I don't know. Maybe I need to play Crisis Core to fully understand. So like, hey Tifa, what's up, girl? She's having a bit of a crisis. She's like, Zack. And Cloud's like, hey, that's not my name. Tifa's all nervous, all tsundere, blushy. I wonder what happened in the past with this Zack character who, man, why wasn't he a recolor in Smash? I mean, what? Never mind. Actually, no, Zack is known already quite a bit, and I do like how they incorporated him into Kingdom Hearts, actually. I thought it was a very smart way of dealing with it that I did enjoy, so. And we need to give Tifa our answer, and because I'm probably going about this entirely wrong, I'm not going to get a date with her. Oh, well, that's fine. But yes, this is GAGA. Not a mandatory stop, if I recall, but a good one, an important one for the story, you know? So guys, thank you all for watching. Bit of a shorter part. This was actually like my one recording session. And next time we'll continue on with our adventure. So see you next time, dudes. Ciao.